Yesterday, I messed around, God, all day trying to improve how the flow moves through the super system. And why did I do that? Because Ely, although the heat wave was over, he was continuing to hide. So I took that as a sign that something is up. I'm not seeing it, but it's up. And basically, the water needed to flow better. It's not that it was bad, but I don't know, just needed to flow better for him. So I did a whole bunch of work. I improved the flow rate, and boom, Ely's back to normal. I'll get into what I did here in just a second. As you can see, I've fed Ely. I should have recorded it, but he's been out all morning since I did the changes last night. Now the tank's in better shape for him, and all you can do really is observe and take action. So he lost a little weight, but he'll be okay. I'm glad I figured it out, and that's going to help my new fish. You got two of these fish I'm still worried about. Like that one was so dangerously skinny that every time when I brought it home, about 3 weeks ago now, every time I've seen a fish look in the condition that these two here were in, they were dead within 24 to 48 hours. Sunk in eyeballs, completely emaciated, destroyed fins, fin rot, cloudy eyes. The lower one, that's darker still right now, he's crowded though, that's why he's dark. He's shy still. But he had hole in the head, like cloudy eye, rotten fins, and they were both skinny. Now the one on top was actually worse off in the sense that it was bone skinny. And he's gained weight. He's doing good. He comes out, he socializes now. He's actually coming back better than the one that, well, this one had hole in the head, so it suffered more. You could see their lower whatever those long, skinny, trailing fins are, were rotted off them both as well. They've got a lot of recovering to do, but I'm still worried about them because I've never seen fish as far gone as those two were, even last a week. But they've been hanging on here in the super system for the last 3 weeks. Again, I'm not using medication. I threw them in with my main fish, and they've had to deal with a major pH swing. They've had to deal with, healing. They've had to deal with the stress of more fish than they've ever known. They've been through a lot. But we're getting them there. I'm surprised they're even still alive. I could lose them even still because they're in that state. They're still in the danger zone. But everyone else would have quarantined those two fish to death. That's what they would have done. They would have quarantined them. They would have hit them with 16 different meds. And they were so far gone, the meds would have killed them. We'll see what happens with them. I mean, 2 of them of the 4 have completely recovered because they weren't as far gone. And these 2, they're still going to need probably another month before they start looking like the rest of my fish. And they need to, they still don't like what I offer diet-wise. But that can take weeks, right? Eventually they'll start to eat like the rest of them have. Let's move on to the way I've improved the flow. That's why Ely's out right now. Okay, so what was the problem? Well, the problem was I'm using an 800 gallon per hour pump to bring water from the UV, 54 watt UV up into this tank. Okay. And then I was using an additional, but the problem is once you get past 4 feet in the air, because the sump's on the floor, right? You start to lose pump strength. So when I got up, that's like freaking 8 feet in the air, and it had a 10-foot pump thing. It said it can pump 10 feet, but they kind of lied. Like it should have. Anyhow, after 4 feet, this pump exponentially loses its power. If you keep it at 4 feet and under, it seems to work just fine. So they claim the 10-foot pump height, but it actually only has a 4-foot pump height. So it was sending my UV water in there too slow. I added an extra 200 gallon per hour pump to push more water through it, which was helping. And I thought that would be enough, but it wasn't good enough. And basically, at the end of the day, the eel was showing me it wasn't good enough. He'd been out all morning. This is normal behavior for him now. So I had to improve the flow situation. So what I did was, instead of putting the UV one up there, which was being drastically slowed down, I dropped it down here. So now it's pumping 800 gallons an hour through there. And I didn't mind it slowing down because this has a small output. So it was kind of working out that way, but it wasn't working out for the UV like turnover. It was actually killing it. And then it would slow down over time too, right? Because it's always fighting going uphill. So you'd first plug it in, it would look good, but after like 2 days, it would slow way the hell down. So this caused me problems. Now, it wasn't visible in the water. Water's still crystal clear. And the fish were still good. They were fine. But Ely, he stayed hiding because in his world, the water wasn't good enough. Now the water's good enough again. So we got the 800 gallon per hour one pushing into here. On top of that, okay, I ended up putting just a 200 gallon per hour one up here. So this one's running solo 200 gallons per hour filling. And then it's overflowing down here at 200 gallons per hour. This one runs 800 gallons per hour. But this overflow here has an inch and like a big, it might be 1.5 inch pipe leading out the bottom of it. So it can handle a lot more outflow. So we got 200 gallons per hour up here. We got somewhere between 700 and 1,000 gallons per hour flowing through here with intense UV. And then going back into the sump, coming back up into the tank. And I just take tank water directly and send it up here instead of UV water directly. This is working way better. And Ely is showing us that he approves. He's like, good job, boss. You figured it out. You figured it out, and now I'm a happy eel again. Now he's waiting to eat out of my hands like he does every day. And he's always out playing like all throughout the day. People will normally see these eels hiding. And even other videos where I see these eels, they're never out. They're always hiding. And that actually means something's wrong. If your eel's hiding, you don't like your water. So it's a good indicator fish for discus tank. He's calm with my discus. He's peaceful. And he lets me know when there's something wrong. I thought it was the heat wave, and that probably played a role. But then he was still hiding, and we've been out of that for almost a week now, several days. So I was like, okay, let's work on the flow. Something's wrong here. And sure enough, Ely's back to normal the next day. Didn't even do a water change, just improved the flow. See, if you've got river fish, you gotta simulate a river, or they'll let you know. Just gotta learn to read the signs. So that's what I did. I had to play around all day yesterday to make sure this worked properly. I get the right pumps in the right place. I play musical pumps because I got a bunch of pumps downstairs too, right? And some of them are from different manufacturers, so they behave differently. And then each pump has a small range where you can adjust the flow. So if the pump's too big for, like, say, the top tank's going to overflow. And if it's too small for the top tank, you can get air in the line, and then you get an airlock, and the tank's going to overflow. So you got to get it just right, and then everything runs like a Swiss clock. And, so my first setup when it came to the flow wasn't the greatest. This is rocking the world, and I know that because Ely approves. Have a wonderful day.